Hello and welcome to another thought-provoking edition of Generations Gist with Joy, the show where we bridge generational gaps through bold conversation that inspire action, shift culture, and spark real impact. Today's episode shines a spotlight on a topic that rarely gets the attention it deserves: the boy child. In a society where advocacy for the girl child has rightly gained momentum, there is a growing need to ask, are we also mentoring our boys for the future we are building? All these questions and more will be answered right after this short break. Please stay with us.
The world is no longer a global village. It is a neighborhood. Generations come and go, but the gist they start lingers. The platform that sustains those gists is here. Be a part of the conversation on Generation Gist with Joy. From policymakers to politicians, medical personnel to traders, labor leaders to students, the young and the old. It's Generations Gist with Joy.
It's your generation, it's my generation, it's our generation.
Come, let's tag along on Generation Gist with Joy. Please join us.
You are welcome back. We're about to dive into a powerful conversation on leadership, masculinity, emotional intelligence, and why investing in our boys is truly investing in Nigeria's tomorrow. With me in the studio is someone at the forefront of this movement, a passionate advocate for the boy child, a youth mentor, and the founder of Yargote Foundation for Children, Youth, and Women Development, an NGO committed to raising boys who lead with character, confidence, and compassion. Please join me in welcoming Anna Hussaini Pai. You are welcome, Anna Hussaini. You are welcome to Generations Gist with Joy, and we're glad to have you on this show.
Thank you very much.
Then the first question I will ask you is, what actually inspired you to lead or establish this NGO that is focused on the boy child? Why do you think mentoring boy children is important in Nigeria of today, and why now?
Okay, thank you. My name again is Anna Hussaini Pai. It's a compound name, and I am a strong believer in the project called Nigeria. I believe strongly that Nigeria can get better if everybody, all of us, contribute our quota, in making it better. And I hope that we'll see the Nigeria of our dreams during our generation, like before we go to the great beyond. Nigeria is faced with a lot of challenges. I mean, the world over, we're faced with a lot of challenges. And the attention and the focus has been on the girl child and the women empowerment in general. So at Yargote Foundation, we believe strongly that there should be a balance. There should be this gender equity. Nobody should be left behind. We all believe that, the man is strong. He doesn't really need attention or any focus. But we keep focusing on preparing the girl child for an unprepared boy child, because the grooming the girl gets, the attention, the love, the care that she gets, she grows up with it, and that's what she exudes when she's older. But the boy child, on the other hand, doesn't have all of those. Some do, but the percentage is very low. There are parents that are actually hands-on, and they're interested in what and how their boy child also grew up. But, with all of the challenges that we face in the country today, be it the substance abuse, which is on the rise, the cult activities, the cyber crime, the yahoo, the killings, the kidnappers, bandits, when you look at the recruitment base, they are all male, they are boys and young men. So as a country, we have to put all hands on deck you know, to go back to the drawing board and arrest the situation before we all get consumed. So that is why at the Yargote Foundation, we decided to take this initiative to empower the boy child, because we believe that the ultimate beneficiary is the girl child. When we groom and mold the boy to know better, he will give better. So most of the cases that we have to treat for the girl child, which is always reaction, because they have to have happened for us to, you know, come on board and intervene. So we are looking at it from a preventive approach. Like, we can actually prevent these problems from happening in the first place, and then everybody is better off for it.
You know, it seems that even in our family settings, the boys have the most attention, and the women are even complaining, and that's why you have this outcry by girl child cases and the rest of them. So how, I mean, what are those instances that will make you think that way? You said Yahoo and all those things.
Yeah.
I mean, what could be responsible for that?
So, focusing on the boy child, or the boy child being, you know, the one enjoying, sometimes there are families that the boys are treated like kings.
Yeah, most families.
Most families.
In Africa, Nigeria in particular.
So, what is this treatment that they get? Most of the time, they don't do house chores because they feel the man is kind of sacred, he shouldn't do certain things. That's a stereotype, and that's a very wrong one. Now, for the girl child that gets groomed because she is doing the house chores, she's learning, I mean, from infancy, the kind of toys we buy for the children even says it all. We buy dolls for the girl, we buy kitchen equipments, you know, miniature kitchen equipments for her to learn how to cook from infancy.
Which is actually their basic responsibility.
That's their basic responsibility. But what do we buy for the boys? We buy them guns, we buy them balls, so they are always out of the house. The family is supposed to be a whole. Everybody has a role to play. So when the boy child grows up seeing himself as king and all of that, he grows up with some sort of ego, and he's not grounded in the family dynamics, you know, and then, you know, it's a whole lot of different ball game between the two. The girl is always at home, getting more advices, you know, on how to run the family. Now, if you marry off the prepared girl to an unprepared boy, definitely there'll be chaos. And, you know, the rate of divorce, you know, relationship breakups, violence, financial, physical, you know, emotional, is at an all-time high. Why? Because the girl is grounded oftentimes, and then the boys, because they go out to play ball or play whatever games it is they want to play on the streets, they mix and mingle with all sorts on the streets. The parents are not there on the football field to watch over them, so whoever they meet end up introducing whatever they know to them. So if they see someone smoking, because of the peer pressure, even for the fun of knowing how it tastes, they also want to partake in that. If they see that due to the economic situation, even though I don't want to blame it completely, you see boys that are not up to 20 aspiring to get stuff that are way beyond their reach. So a boy of 16, 17 wants to ride a Mercedes. You are not even out of school yet. So how do you afford that? You have to go into the cybercrime, scamming people and getting money whichever way you can, which they don't even know that it can thwart their life. They can lose their lives, because if you get arrested and you don't get killed, you can end up in jail. So your goals are shattered, your life, you know, comes to a standstill. So these are challenges that is growing rapidly. The fire is spreading. So if you see the crime rates between the boys and the girls, you know the difference is very clear.
Okay, now, like you were saying, you said the girls, because of this advocacy for the girls and the rest of it, are well prepared or groomed for marriage, you know. How do you want the boys to be groomed for that kind of responsibility?
Okay, so at Yargote Foundation, what we do with the boys is to teach them soft skills. Soft skills are intangible and intellectual skills that you can't see, you can't touch. It's not like tailoring or plumbing or carpentry and stuff like that. They include skills like empathy, emotional intelligence, communication, and the rest of it. So when you look at what's going on today, the issues that abound, most times when you look at it critically, you say, oh, a simple, meaningful conversation, which is now communication, would have solved it. You come in all blazing and shouting and all, you would have just said something, whatever it is you want to say, calmly, in a matured manner. I mean, if you know better, you would act better. Then you see some situations where all that is needed is a little bit of empathy. Just be calm, put yourself in that person's shoes, or you apply emotional intelligence in dealing with whatever situation it is that you have to deal with. So these are some of the things that unknowingly, without giving them these names, have been passed on to the girl child. Most of them have these skills in them.
Okay.
Even if the parents don't know to call it, oh, it's emotional intelligence, oh, are teaching them communication, but that's part of what they get while being groomed. Now, like I said earlier, it is not all the boys. Some boys are lucky to have these skills embedded in them while growing up, while some never get it. So, like I said earlier, a man who knows better will act better. And by God's design, I always want to add this. The man is supposed to be, not even supposed, the man is the head of the family, no matter what anybody says. So any man that knows better will want the best for his family. So you can groom whoever you get married to, even if she doesn't fit into what you want. If you know better, you will know the ways and the tips and tricks, to put her or mold her into whatever it is you want her to be. And then the family is better off for it at the end of the day.
Okay, from your experience now, what are the most common challenges you think Nigerian boys are facing, especially those who are from the low income background or poor background that you are tackling right now?
So top on the list for me will be self-esteem issues.
Okay.
Because they already have this notion of, oh, we are from the underserved communities, nothing good can come out of this place, nothing good can come out of us. Look at our schools. They watch the TV and they see stuff. They see how beautiful other places are, how beautiful other schools are. So they live in these underserved communities, and what they see is what they get. So when you come into this community, maybe looking all clean, you're driving a car, their self-esteem is already down. And their mindset is like, oh, for some that would even want to aspire, when will I ever be like this? So whatever you're teaching sometimes, instead of that knowledge being passed down, their minds are already blocked with that, low self-esteem. So they are not really assimilating what you're really passing down. So what we do is we have a clinical psychologist on our team.
Okay.
So we go along with her whenever we go to teach. So she takes care of these issues, because while we teach, we watch out for these issues. And whenever we pick, because some of them are introverted, so we have some lessons that we do and then some activities that we carry out to pop them up. So once they pop up, we begin to ask questions, we begin to dig deep, and then we find out what the problems are. Because some are probably from broken family, the family system is broken. Some don't even have enough food to eat. So that's just the issue. No hygiene products, so they are very dirty. Not that they want it, but they can't help it. So there are a lot of issues. And then because again they are from the underserved communities, the educational system is not too sound. So the educational background is very poor. So we come down, we teach, we bring down whatever we want to teach them to the lowest of the low, so they can assimilate, but they still find it difficult to to grab whatever it is we're trying to say, because we go with some audio visuals.
Okay.
So we show them stuff visually so that we drive home the point. But some of the things we show them, they're just seeing it for the first time. And sometimes I can't even help it. I'll be like, really? You've never seen this before? So to further drive home the point, we take them from these communities in batches, because our logistics is not too good. But we take them out in batches and bring them to town. The boys we worked with last year in Kabusa community, none have ever seen the city gate.
Oh my goodness. So
on our way taking them to town, we'll say, oh, this is the city gate. Have you seen it before? They say no. So we park there. And
they stayed in Abuja?
Yes, they are in Kabusa. Kabusa is just a few minutes from town. It's like part of town. But that's to tell you how unexposed they are. Most of them were born in that community. They've grown. We have 16-year-old, 17 years old in our class. But we bring them to town so that they can see the world. Let me put it that way. So we take them to offices. They get mentored. They take them round to see, what the office look like, and they talk to them about what they do in that office. So the idea is they can aspire to be whatever they want to be. We don't want to box them into a corner to say all of you must learn certain skills, even though we're teaching them certain skills. But no, you can aspire to be whatever you want to be, but be better off at it. That's why we're focusing on the soft skills, so that if you want to be a doctor, be a good doctor, be the best doctor. If you want to be a teacher, you know what it entails. You know all the requisite skills you need, and you have them already. So part of what we teach them is goal setting. Aspire to be anything, and you know what you will do to help you achieve these goals. You know the things you will engage in that will hinder you from achieving these goals as well. So yeah, that's it.
How much are they taking this mentorship? How good are they accepting the mentorship? Are many of them accepting it or staying back or running away? Some of them will be like, no. I heard about a particular community that people went there to do some advocacy on literacy and the rest of it. They ran away. They didn't want change.
So I think the approach matters, because we spend 6 months with these boys. The very first lesson we teach is self-discovery.
Okay.
We have to make them self-aware. They have to understand who they are. They have to understand their story from, way back. And then the goal setting and all is their destination. Where are you headed? So if you start with that, I don't think anybody will want to run away from you when you start to give out the other lessons. So we talk to them about values, about culture. So we share cultural differences in the class. Everybody goes home and gets their assignments done. Come back and tell us about your culture. You have to do a presentation, so we talk about traditions. We can't run away from that. So these are all, to bring them up to speed about who they are.
Building their confidence.
Part of it. So you have to understand who you are first. Then if you understand where you are headed, any other thing that comes on board, you assimilate and you wouldn't want to, miss anything. So may I add that these boys hardly would want to miss class. There was a day it was about to rain, and one of the mothers was telling the son, it's about to rain. You can't go out. He said no, he insisted. So she had to call to say, oh, I just want to confirm, are you guys coming? I said, yes, we're coming. What did you people do to these children? They don't want to miss anything. I say, well, they are enjoying the lessons and they are building themselves up, so nobody wants to miss. They always will come out, come rain, come sun. And wherever I am, if I can't make it there that day, I will make sure that the other people are there, no matter what, even if it is raining. And when you get there, you meet them there.
Now let's talk about the family structure itself. How would you say the current family setting in Nigeria, with both the cultural and economic pressure, how is it affecting the upbringing of today's boys? Are we seeing gaps in discipline
there are so many.
and emotional nurturing? And what are the value formation for these families? Are the families actually the people responsible for the actions of these children or these boys?
There are so many gaps in Nigeria, right? Nigeria, there are so many gaps. Now, the economic situation of the country is not helping matters, because both parents would have to go out to fend for the family. And they have to do a lot. You know, it's not like back in the days where every mother is probably back home. For those that work, they'll be back home by 4. But it's hardly the case today. Some parents, because of the kind of the amount of money they earn, they can't even transport themselves, you know, all the way. So they probably would have to take, you know, a vehicle to a certain point, then walk the remaining part of the way. And so it takes them out of the house for a longer period. Now, while that is happening, the internet is there acting on its own, influencing the children in, you know, all ways and manners. Now, what I've seen in this community is that the children don't have to own phones. Just one child holding a phone, you see like 10 or more gathered around that child, and they are watching whatever it is that they are watching. Nobody is there to checkmate what they're doing. And the internet is for good and definitely for bad.
Yeah.
And the bad sells, you know, faster.
Yeah.
I remember the day we did class on substance abuse. They excitedly were calling all sorts of names of drinks that I've never heard in my life. They know them.
Sure, of course.
They know them because they are readily available. Nobody cares who is drinking it. If you come to buy, they'll sell it to you. You know, so I think they pick all of these things from the internet. And even beyond the internet, it is there, like it is there glaring, like everywhere you drive. I go to this community, so they are hanging everywhere. So the problem is that the internet is negatively influencing the young boys growing up today. In all of the vices I've counted, whether the substance abuse or the internet scam and all, because the influencers and the celebrities we have today are not helping matters as well. In the classes we do at Yargote Foundation, we try to make them understand that you can actually use the internet for positive stuff. So when we go to the class, we go with a laptop. That's what we have for now. So we let them, we Google stuff and say, oh, do you know you can Google anything and you can learn to be anything on the internet. It doesn't have to be sexual videos or naked girls and all of that. So the music videos that you see all over the place, you see naked women all over the place. And all of these things are programming. They are programming the boys and even the girls. You know, they want to experiment with stuff that they don't have any business experimenting with, but because they are watching these things, they want to act them out. And I mean, you derail.
So how are you now addressing this family structure now, you know, that have left their children? You know, because I think even trying to nurture these people starts from the home. How are you now addressing it? You know, maybe reaching out to the family, maybe, teaching them what they need to do for these children to be what they are supposed to do.
Yeah.
Is that part of
so we meet,
the advocacy?
Yes, we meet with the parents, right? We meet with the parents. But the problem is, again, because of the economic situation, right? We don't have solutions to everybody's problems. We can't give you maybe food for 1 year. We say we'll give you a 1 year supply of food. Don't go out, stay and nurture the children. Or we can take care of all of your problems. Somebody is sick, we can pay all of the school fees and all. We can't do that. So what we do with the parents is we meet with them, you know, from time to time. We invite the parents, We tell them what we're teaching these children because they have to reinforce learning at home. And we try to make them understand that even though there are gaps as a result of you not doing what you're supposed to do, this is a collaborative effort. So whatever we teach them, some parents come during classes and start crying. They just come and break down. Quite a number of them have done that because they will be like, when you calm them down, and they will say, oh, they are seeing so much changes in their children. There was a particular woman that was saying that her Moses have finally arrived, her savior, and she was sobbing seriously. I had to just hug her and just was patting her on the back and said, stop crying, stop crying. And then we have boys that their fathers they just kind of eloped and abandoned them with the mothers. So what we're dealing with the younger boys, because it's not too easy to change the mindset of the older men. They are already having too many responsibilities and issues to deal with. So you can't keep them every day for 6 months to say, oh, we are teaching them stuff. So we're trying to catch these boys young so that when they grow, they will apply most of these things and correct some of the mistakes that their parents are making. Because they actually voice out eventually when they get very comfortable. They tell you what they are passing through in their homes and all. So sometimes we ask them, so is that a good thing or a bad thing? We let them decide. And they decide from an informed point of view based on what we've taught them. So the idea is, as they grow, all of the things we're teaching them, they can apply it in their academics, and they can apply it in their family life when they become family men. Because one of the lessons we teach them is fatherhood and family dynamics. So we teach them about being even a gentleman. We had a whole topic about being a gentleman, all that it entails to be a gentleman, down to how a gentleman should wear his tie. So we taught them how to wear a tie and how to eat, like etiquettes and all. So yes, because we have quite a lot of time to do all of that. So we have about 18 to 20 lessons in total. So when we teach, sometimes we have to act roles so that they put themselves like they are acting it. And then sometimes we do activities, to just drive home the point. So there's what we're doing with the parents. I mean, the economic situation, again, like I keep saying, will not really let a lot of things, take shape because they are not available. They have to survive. They have to go out.
Definitely.
They have to. But the children are catching on.
How involved actually are the schools, maybe religious bodies? How involved are they? How committed are they to your foundation?
So for those that we have reached out, the ones we've reached out to, they are quite supportive. Yeah, they are quite supportive. They are encouraging, and we've not come across anyone that have not lauded what we're doing, or have had something or anything negative to say or do. Even though we've not really had cause to ask them for maybe monetary support or financial support. But words of encouragement, has been forthcoming. Yeah.
Can you walk us through one of your flagship mentorship programs? How does it work, and what kind of impact has it?
Okay. So let me talk about what we did last year. Again, we went to the Kabusa community. We did the stakeholders engagement. We were very much welcomed by the village chief and his cabinet, and then we picked the boys that we needed, that needed this intervention. So initially, how people think about NGO, the notion they have about NGOs is like, oh, they just come and share things and go. So we had starter packs for the boys. We had hygiene stuff. We had soaps, body cream, toothpaste and all of that. We had writing materials, t-shirts, and we gave it to all of them. So we had some people that came on the day of the inauguration, and we're begging seriously for their boys to be included, and we had already picked the number we could deal with. And eventually somebody just said, please let them join. And I'm happy we let them join, because some people took the starter packs, left, and never came back. Yes. So those ones whose parents came and were begging were very steadfast. They stayed all through. And when we started, one of the challenges we had was that some of the boys could not read and could not write. It will shock you that 2 of those that couldn't read and write are in JS1. And I was wondering, how did you get up there? How did you cross over to senior high? And so we had to get a lesson teacher different outside of our scope to teach those boys. We had 7 of them in total, to teach them just to read and write so they can be carried along. And we ran all through to the month of November, where we had a summit. So the summit is to bring all stakeholders together and begin to advocate and let people know that it's high time we begin to look at the challenges that the boy child faces, because we have to decimate the recruitment base for the bad guys, the bandits, the kidnappers, the ritualists, and all of that. They all recruit from the boys.
Sure.
When you see a girl involved, she's almost always a decoy. They're using her to make people feel comfortable, and then you fall prey. So we have to all wake up and decimate that recruitment base by teaching the boys, you know, what to do and what not to do, and not to join all of those, because all of us are at risk. So that's part of what we had, the conversation we had at the summit in November last year. And we're already preparing for the next summit in November again this year. Yeah, so in a nutshell, that was how we did what we did last year.
Okay, with all of these things, it shows that a lot of them want to actually have a change, you know, for the best, and to be involved in economic development. Do you have any kind of collaboration with NGO of like minds?
Because, you know, the boy child advocacy is fairly new.
Well, before we continue with that collaboration topic, I think we'll let us go on a short break. Yeah. We'll be right back. Please stay tuned. You are welcome back. If you are just joining us, you are watching Generations Gist with Joy, and we've been speaking with Anna Hussaini Pai, a strong advocate for the boy child. You know, we were talking about collaboration with other NGOs. If you can bring, so that we will have enough of these boys, leave the streets, leave the poor background, and be useful to themselves.
Yeah, so I was saying that the advocacy for the boy child is fairly new. So we don't have a lot of, you know, non-governmental organizations that are advocating yet. Just earlier today, like I said, we're planning the summit for November. We were looking up to see the organizations that we could invite to our summit. And I think just about 5 NGOs popped up when we did a Google search. Yes, so for this year, we're going to invite them, and then we'll take it up from there to see how we can collaborate. But for now, we're not really that much yet. But I think the message is now beginning to go out that we need more people to, you know, come on board to advocate for the boy child. So when we did the road walk, you know, May 16th is the International Day of the Boy Child. So we did a road walk, and I think the message was really loud, and more people are beginning to come on board and all. So I think after the event in November, we will take it up from there to begin to collaborate with other people that are doing the same.
Okay, what role? You know, we spoke about family, because the whole of this thing starts from the family, you know. What role do fathers or father figures, or the absence of them, play in shaping or limiting the development of these boys who are on the streets? And what are you doing about it?
Okay, so I will take it back to like infancy again. You know, from childhood, there's this stereotype that, you know, boys should be boys, men should be men, men don't cry, men shouldn't be seen as weak. There are certain things you do as a male gender that everybody will look at you as being weak, which is a very bad stereotype. We're all human. We all have emotions. You know, God did not create the woman alone to cry. There's a reason why both genders have tears. So even as men, you should let it flow when it needs to. Boys grow up seeing their fathers the way they see their fathers. If he's tough, he's tough. If he's loving, he's loving. You understand? So I have said it severally that a lot of men today have grown up with unidentified traumas from childhood.
Okay.
So you see some people just being tough and you're wondering, why is he so tough and difficult? So the men need to ask themselves some questions like, what are those things that have happened to me in the past that I'm still bottling in, that I've not voiced out? And it's not their fault sometimes, because boys don't have safe spaces to talk. They don't have safe spaces to go to, like they don't have people to talk to. Not all of them again, like I'm not generalizing. There are quite a few families that are so open and so loving that the boys can talk as well, but majority are on the other side. So in Nigeria, the safe spaces for boys are two: the rehabilitation center and the correctional facilities, the prisons. So you have to have committed that crime to go to prison, or you have to have gone haywire with drugs to be in the rehabilitation center. So we have to, you know, change that narrative. So the fathers, again, like I said, you can't give what you don't have. If you know better, you would act better. So the boys are growing up watching their fathers. If you are not a good role model,
you are not.
You are not. So you will always see that there is a cycle repeating itself, where you see a violent father, you see a violent son.
Sure.
When a boy grows up seeing his father beating his mother, it's likely, more than likely, that it's going to repeat itself in that boy's family too.
It even affects the girl child.
Of course, of course.
They will not like to marry.
Exactly.
They're like, no, why should I marry?
Why
if
should
every
I?
man will be like my father, why should I marry?
And you see, you know, men today will say, oh, the girls today, they are not patient, they don't endure, they don't persevere and stuff. But there's a silent instigation going on in the background. The women of yesteryears are fueling this instigation. They will say, oh, that time, you know, we didn't go to school, so we're taking a lot of nonsense. You know, we're just enduring because, but you don't endure.
Don't accept it.
Don't accept it. Or if it does anyhow, you know, no. You know, it's not for. So the women of yesteryears went through a lot, but because of the system back then, you know, now we are more exposed. The phones are there to talk. The internet is there for you to look up things. There are so many NGOs advocating for women liberation, women this and that. Yeah, it's okay to be good and liberated and all, but there are some negative vibes, you know, undertone there that yeah, you shouldn't accept any form of abuse. I wouldn't subscribe to being abused. I would not stay in an abusive relationship. But the narrative can be different. The narrative can be different. Instead of saying, don't accept, don't do this. If he does this, do that. That is why Yargote Foundation is doing what it's doing. You don't even have to get to that point of he doing something that you don't have to accept. So that's why we're correcting it in the boy child, you know, in the first instance. So you do not have to get to that point where the girl will not want to accept anything or take any nonsense from any man.
The dynamics of our culture, religion, and other things, you know, is really putting a lot of pressure on family, especially young families today. You know, like, for example, some men want to act like their father. I'm the man of this house. Why should I enter the kitchen? Why should I even help you to sweep? And the parents will be like, no, my son is sweeping in the house, and no, he's been just.
Yeah.
And they will start all sorts of smear campaigns to be able to set that marriage ablaze. I mean, what do you do with these children like this now? These boys.
So what I
because
always
we need
say,
a lot of advocacy, a lot.
What I always say to men is that the easiest thing for a woman to do is to submit. That's the easiest. But you as a man have to play your role to earn that submission. You don't demand for submission. You earn it. It's the easiest thing if you play your role. Now the question is, do you know what to play? That's where the problem comes from. If you do not play your role and you go around demanding for submission, respect, obedience, why? It doesn't work like that. She's also human. She has a minimum standard that she's expecting from you as the man, as the husband, as the father. When you're not fitting into those roles, then there will be a disconnect. Now, I'll always add that, you know, some men will say, oh, I have provided, I have gone to work and I brought the money. Money is not everything in a family system. There are so many other things that, you know, you're looked up to as a man, as a father, as a husband, that you need to play those roles. And if you just play your roles, then everything will just be easy breezy. The woman will kneel down, lie down to welcome you, to serve you food. That won't be a problem. But when there's that disconnect, then it affects the whole family, because the children will be there watching what is happening, and that's where they pick these lessons from, and they exhibit it when they also grow up to have their families.
We need a lot of this.
There's a lot of work. There's a lot of
this advocacy, because a lot of families are going through so much.
A lot
are going through so much, and what they are going through is what they learnt.
Yeah.
You know, the dynamics of this.
They're giving what you have, or what you know.
30 years ago, women couldn't say anything. You can't even come on air to say a lot, to say some things. So, I mean, we need a lot of this advocacy. And do you believe the national gender conversation needs rebalancing to better include the boy child? Because I know the boy's child are the ones ruling now. And how can this be done without taking anything away from the girl child advocacy?
So I'll come from the angle of if we have balanced boys and empowered boys, the girls or the women will not have to struggle, you know, for the, you know, affirmative action. You don't have to struggle for, oh, we need 35%, blah, blah, blah. We wouldn't have to struggle for all of those, because the men are balanced. They will know better, and they will just let you be. They will let you thrive. They will let you fly. But for now, they say, oh no, your role is in the kitchen and the other room, you know, because they don't know better. And like I said in the beginning, the grooming the girl gets, you know, well, we've had a few women that have gone into positions and messed things up. They bring this affection, you understand, that tenderness, that care to whatever activity or assignment that they are given to do. You know, I was having a conversation and somebody said, why we don't like giving women positions is because they will just take action. When something is going on, they will take action without thinking of the repercussion or the consequences. But the man will start to think, if I take this action, this will happen and that will happen and stuff. And I said, no, all we need is a balanced human being. We have a balanced human being with the right leadership skills, the right communication skills, empathy, emotional intelligence, and all of that. You will be able to take decisions that will be better for everybody. You know?
Definitely.
So we just need to balance these things. Like you've said, we need more advocacy. Even the men, like I said, when we engage the parents, we engage the men separately at times, then we engage the women separately, because there are some conversations that we don't want the both of them to be, both genders to be together. So everybody have that opportunity and that freedom to air their minds. And yes, so we just need to have that balance.
This is funny, really. It's not funny, it's happening. It's happening, really. And I don't know, because I think the high point of this is grooming the boys, making them realize that these women are the same with them. Do you believe sincerely that women think or act from emotions and the men act from their heads? And that is why the men, they don't want a woman to actually lead them. I have heard a situation where some men, I've heard it, they were like, no, you cannot, a woman will not be my leader. I'm telling you from certain experiences, you know, a woman cannot be my leader and all those things. So, and I'm very sure that is part of what you are teaching these children to, for them to know that women are actually not slaves, that they are human beings and they need this attention as much as the man needs the attention. You know.
So again, like I said earlier, we just need to have balanced human beings, be it a man or a woman. If you're a balanced human being, you will know that and accept that you don't know it all.
Sure.
There are other people that know a little bit more than you do due to certain parameters. So for example, somebody who has maybe gone to 10 countries of the world cannot be compared to someone who has never gone anywhere before. Because when you go out of your comfort zone, when you go out of your country, you see a lot of other cultures, you meet a lot of people, you see things from a different perspective. And so you know more than somebody that has not embarked on that journey before. And so when I see people saying, oh, this gender cannot be my superior and stuff, I don't say that talking from the point of ignorance. Because all you need is someone that is balanced, that is an expert in whatever field it is that you guys are dealing with. And you will want to even give another person the opportunity to put what they know on the table. As a balanced individual, you would always want to learn, because you know that so long as you are alive, you will keep learning. So you will not want to limit another person because you're just projecting your insecurity. That's what I feel.
What kind of support do you actually need from governments, your kind of organization, you know, concerning the boy-child advocacy, you know, and to make them live the life you are advocating for now?
Okay. So top on the chart is the fact that we would want to see soft skills being introduced into the curriculum, because it's not enough to teach individuals about hard skills, about how to become whatever it is they want to become. So these soft skills are very important. They are skills of the future. Like everywhere you go now, soft skills is, you know, on top of the chart. So it's high time we include it in our curriculum so that it is taught in schools and, you know, at whatever level, at all levels. And secondly, we need to have safe spaces for boys as well. Places they can go to and feel safe. Places they can go to and, you know, they'll meet counselors and they're able to just pour out their minds and, you know, learn the right things that they should learn. So for the government, these are the things I would want to see happening.
Okay, what advice would you like to give to people who are starting up NGOs now? Because we could see that girl-child advocacy or NGOs are a little saturated. They are everywhere. And for those who want to start an NGO and perhaps does not know where to start or what to do, would you advise them to go into the advocacy and mentorship for boy-child in Nigeria, as the case may be, given all the vices that we are seeing on the internet everywhere, Yahoo, all sorts of things and so on? Because like you said rightly, and we all know, they are all committed. All of them. It's done by the boys. Few women you see.
Yeah.
You know.
Okay, so to start with, for me, NGO or owning an organization is not something you should just want to jump into because somebody else is doing it or because you feel it's the in thing. It's something that you have to have a vision for. You have to have a passion for. Because if you don't have all of those, then you'll stop, or it will come to an end even before it starts. So you should first of all ask yourself, very pertinent questions as to why you want to start this non-governmental organization, and then you search yourself critically to see what aspect, because there are so many issues, so you shouldn't just say because Mr. A is doing this and O is doing well, then I'm also going to join that queue. No, you should ask yourself, what is that thing you have passion for? Because just like everybody can't be doctors or teachers, everybody can't be in the non-governmental space. So you have to ask yourself what exactly it is you're called for. That's the first thing, because like I said, you'll end even before you start. So if you have a calling for a particular cause, then what aspect of that course will that be? Because even for the boy child, I'm sure when people begin to advocate some more, you'll see some people focusing on maybe substance abuse, you see some people focusing on maybe internet fraud and all of that. But we know what we're doing, and what we're focusing on is the soft skills. So we can even say, oh, okay, we've finished teaching these people soft skills. Now you that is teaching, maybe focusing on this, whatever it is, take some of our boys and continue from where we stopped. So you have to know what exactly it is you want to impact on people.
Okay, can you share a story that really moved you, especially a boy whose life changed significantly because of your foundation?
Yes, I have one boy, and I call him the star boy. His name is Omar Tahiru. Omar is very zealous, very, very zealous. I'm still trying to find out what exactly the problem is with Omar, because Omar doesn't miss classes.
Okay.
There was a time he missed. His mom had to come to tell us he was ill, because some of these children, parents don't even have phones, so they can't call. They'll just wait for the time when we're coming to class, and then they'll walk down to tell us whatever it is they want to tell us to. Omar was the first boy I discovered could not read nor write, and he's one of those boys in JS1 out of the two. And when I discovered he couldn't read and write, because when we give them activities to take home to do, he always comes back without doing it. So when I dug further, I discovered he couldn't read. And so it was only Omar that I got a lesson teacher for, the English lesson teacher. And then those other boys on their own, identified with the fact that they can't also read. But my focus was on Omar, because he has everything it's got to become great, but I don't know what the problem is. I think he's dyslexic, because I've spoken to quite a number of people about his case. Omar is this boy that will remember any future instruction I gave. Even I myself will forget. All the boys will forget, and Omar will say, "Oh, auntie, you said we are going to do this today." I'll be like, "Wow, you did not forget." You say, "No, he didn't forget." He's very lovable, very likable, and you can just see this zeal. I don't know, I just have this feeling that there's something about him. So I had to, when somebody suggested that he might be dyslexic, I had to look up for where I could get help for him. So I came across another NGO that deals with that. So I have their number, but I've not reached out to them yet. We're still with Omar. The day he read a few words in class, the whole class erupted.
Wow.
The teachers and the other participants were all overjoyed.
He's making progress already.
He's making progress, but we still want to take him to that other NGO to see, let's have some assessments done to know if that's the problem. If that's not the problem, then we'll now look elsewhere. So Umar is one boy that I don't want to give up on. Even when we round up our activities in that community, I still want to keep in touch. I still want to groom him further, because I just have this feeling in me that there's something in him.
Great in this
There's
boy.
something great in that boy, yeah. So that's one story that moves me, and I say it everywhere I go, that I want to see to the very end of whatever it is that has to do with Omar.
Wow.
Yeah.
That was great. You know, where do you see your organization and the other boys, or the boys you mentor, in the next 5 or 10 years from now?
So we hope to have gone as far as we can. We've gotten calls from other states, and they are like, where is this thing happening? We want to bring our boys and blah. And I said, oh, not yet. We're growing gradually, and we're going to get there. So we have a piece of land already donated to the NGO.
Okay.
And at this summit, we're going to do a fundraising to build a safe space and resource center for boys. So at that center, we believe that when we bring them in, it's going to be like a regimented lifestyle in there. So they will come out, you know, much, much better than they came in, because we're going to teach them, you know, in a controlled environment, because where they live now, these underserved communities, because they are just open, you know, environments, the influences are just too many. So we believe that if we can take them out of these environments for like 2, 3, 4 months, they can't come back the same.
Wow.
They can't come back the same. So in a few years, like you said, we should have, we believe strongly that we're going to have that safe space built in a very short while. So like I said, we have the land already. We have an architectural design donated as well. So we're going to call for funds, for people to support us with funds, and we'll build that, and we'll reach more boys.
Yeah, we would love to really stay here for the whole day to discuss this very
important,
very important, much more than important, you know, idea about boy child, because it's something that people are not even thinking about. We all focus on the girl child or the women, you know. So now, before we go, we have in 30 seconds, what's one book, which is one of this one book you would want to recommend for a boy child to read?
I don't have any book to recommend at the moment, like off my head, because we are not even there yet. Like I said, for the boys that we work with, we're still trying to make them understand the nitty-gritty of what we're even teaching them. So we have to water it down, bring it down to their levels, and we oftentimes have to practicalize what we teach. So for the boys that we're working with, I don't have any book of head to recommend.
Thank you so much for coming on this show, and in fact we'll be bringing you every time to tell people what they need to know about the boy child, the stereotype, and all the things the boys themselves, that especially on social media, they feel that they are bosses, you know. So thank you so much for coming, and we've been here with Anna Hussaini Pai. Thank you, madam. What an eye-opening conversation with Anna Hussaini Pai. As we've heard today, boys need just as much guidance, attention, and intentional mentorship as girls, not just to become good men, but to become great leaders in their homes, in their communities, and the nation at large. To everyone watching, whether you are a parent, you are a teacher, a policymaker, or simply someone who cares about the future of our country, just remember that mentoring a boy child today could be your greatest contribution to a better Nigerian tomorrow. And on that note, we'll wrap up this week's episode of Generations Gist with Joy. For sponsorship, partnership, or more information about the show, please contact us at generationsgistwithjoy@gmail.com. And don't forget to stay connected with us on all our social media platforms. Remember, your generation is your identity, and always be your brother's keeper. I am Joy Onu. See you next week.